Imagine this. You probably think marriage is all about love and commitment, right? Think again. When it comes to U.S. immigration, things get a lot messier, and feelings take a backseat to endless forms, interviews, and high-stakes investigations. Before we get into it, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss any updates from our channel. Seriously, you'll want to stick around because everything you thought you knew about marriage and U.S. immigration in 2025 is about to get flipped upside down. What if taking the wrong step means losing your future, your freedom, or even your shot at living in the U.S. at all? Let's not sugarcoat it. Marriage has always been a ticket to a green card, but right now, the rules have gotten tougher, the penalties are harsher, and the spotlight on so-called marriage fraud is brighter than ever. Wondering why the climate's changed? It's not just about a few fake couples trying to cheat the system. In 2025, marriage fraud tops the list for U.S. immigration authorities. Most people have no idea how fierce the clampdown has gotten. You might see a dreamy Valentine's post with wedding cake and roses, but if the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services sniffs out even a hint that your vows were just for a green card, your whole world can come crashing down. This isn't just about filling out some awkward questionnaires or chasing a couple of signatures. We're talking about real, life-changing consequences. Deportation, criminal records, crushing fines, maybe never stepping foot in the United States again. Sound dramatic? It isn't. It's absolutely real. Here's what almost nobody tells you. Under Section 275C of the Immigration and Nationality Act, staging a marriage for immigration purposes isn't just against the rules, it's actually a federal crime. Get caught and both the American spouse and the foreign national could face up to 5 years locked up, fines reaching $250,000, not to mention losing all future rights to immigration benefits. Even if only one person was in on the scam, guess what? Both people can still face scarily harsh outcomes. No one escapes unscathed. So what's triggered this new tsunami of enforcement? Here's the bit that rarely gets aired. The Integrity First Initiative, a signature move by President Donald Trump in 2025, has flooded USCIS with a monster $200 million injection. This windfall funded the new Marriage Integrity Task Force, or MITF, which exploded onto the scene back in March. But this isn't just another sleepy government committee. ISA, local police, and a whole troop of tech experts now collaborate to dig for suspicious unions using surveillance tools most people have never even heard of. Old-school paperwork checks aren't enough anymore. Here's the real plot twist. Artificial intelligence is now calling the shots. Forget what you thought you knew. AI now digs deep into everything. Social media, tax details, even that quick Instagram story you thought disappeared. If you've been posting pics of wild nights out or hinting you're single on Facebook, while your immigration paperwork claims you're happily married, red alerts go off. Whole cases have exploded over nothing more than a Facebook status change or a stray comment on TikTok. In just the first few months of 2025, digital sleuths have flagged hundreds of cases for further investigation, thanks to this all-seeing AI. So, how does this crackdown work out in practice? It always starts with proof, and more proof. The evidence demands now are next level. Joint apartment leases, shared utility accounts, commingled bank statements, dating and travel logs, group photos from birthdays or holidays, even proof of shopping trips and pet ownership. And then comes the infamous marriage interview. Some describe it as one of the scariest hours of their life. Questions start out simple, how did you meet, and ramp up to ridiculously specific stuff like, what color is your partner's toothbrush? Or, what's the pattern on your pillowcases? One mix-up could mean being split up, stuck alone in a separate room for a dreaded Stokes interview. Picture the pressure. You're sweating, someone's staring at you like a detective, and you're suddenly blanking on the color of your own bathroom towels. If your answers don't line up, your whole application could freeze. But that isn't the scariest part. In 2025, surprise home visits have become the new norm. Imagine this. A knock on the door, a badge flashed, and officers filing in to scan every inch of your living space. They'll open closets, peer in your fridge, poke around medicine cabinets, and zero in on anything that feels too perfectly staged, like an Airbnb set. One fake toothbrush or a closet with just one set of clothes is enough to set off alarms. Meanwhile, your social media feeds are under the microscope. If your Instagram is suspiciously solo, with barely any trace of your spouse, or your friends seem shocked whenever you mention being married, you'd better believe investigators will notice. And get this, anyone can dial in an anonymous tip. A jealous ex, a grumbling neighbor, or even a friend with a grudge can trigger an investigation. investigation. Every call is taken seriously, and the authorities work as if it's already a real lead. Now, what actually puts a marriage case on the government's radar? Let's break it down. Number 1. A massive age difference, especially anything over a 10-year gap. Investigators instantly see this as a warning light. Number 2. No shared language. Couples who can hardly speak the same language get extra scrutiny because communication is considered fundamental to a real relationship. Number 3. Separate addresses. If your mail and bills show you live apart, things get messy. Number 4. A whirlwind online romance that transforms into a speedy wedding after just a few weeks or months. These cases are almost guaranteed a second look. Number 5. A total lack of joint finances and mysteriously missing family members in wedding or holiday photos. When relationship timelines look sketchy and families seem absent, be ready to provide answers. Number 6. Your digital trail. If social media feeds make it look like you're both living separate lives, uploading zero couple photos, or never tagging each other, digital flags get raised. Investigators have become digital bloodhounds, and one odd, out-of-place post can seriously complicate everything. So what happens if you get accused of marriage fraud in 2025? Brace yourself. For the foreign spouse, green card dreams can shatter overnight. Your application will likely get rejected immediately, and you could find yourself in deportation proceedings, possibly barred from ever coming back. Even if you're already here legally, you're not safe. Legal status can be revoked in the blink of an eye, and the nightmare doesn't end there. Criminal charges are a real risk. U.S. citizens, too, can face everything from jail time and crushing fines to a permanent ban from sponsoring another spouse in the future. If money changes hands, that's a whole new level of trouble, usually bringing even heavier federal charges and tougher penalties. Want some real-life proof that this crackdown isn't just headlines? Just last month, a jaw-dropping fraud ring got busted wide open in California. In April 2025, more than 60 people ended up in handcuffs in Los Angeles and San Diego. The scheme? Offering Americans $25,000 to marry foreign nationals who desperately wanted legal status. They didn't just stage fake weddings. They photoshopped family pictures, used identical bouquets, recycled the same notary, and even hired the same witnesses over and over. Investigators started putting the clues together when they noticed the pattern. But what blew the door open was the new AI, which caught nearly identical details in hundreds of photos. Suddenly, a whole crowd of people found themselves facing not just immigration bans, but actual criminal prosecution, with everything from fines to years in prison on the table. And here's the truly wild part. Some Americans thought they were just helping out a friend or doing a favor. Now they've lost futures, jobs, sometimes even their own legal status. But what about couples who are the real deal? The ones who truly built a relationship and married for love? Yikes. Even they aren't entirely safe from suspicion. If you want to protect yourself, and no, love isn't enough by itself, you need to build a rock-solid archive of your shared life. Sure, wedding portraits are nice, but what really matters are daily life shots with your families, group vacations, dinners, road trips, and candid photos showing your routines. Legal paperwork is king. Joint bank statements, leases or mortgages with both your names, payment records for shared bills, proof of travel together, boarding passes, event tickets, or even chat logs and video call screenshots if you lived apart for a while. Letters from friends and family, plus sworn affidavits help round out your story. Here's a shocker. Having kids isn't proof by itself. If your relationship still looks paper thin to investigators, doubts will linger. It's not about volume, it's about consistency. Every piece of evidence should help build a timeline, how you met, how your bond grew, and what your actual daily life looks like now. Think of it as a story, not a scrapbook, guiding investigators through the real, lived experience of your partnership. Now, sometimes even solid cases get sideswiped by suspicion. If your application gets denied, it's not totally over, but the road ahead is steep. You can try motions to reopen or appeal with the help of an immigration attorney. But if you're already facing removal, legal battles get exhausting and expensive, and once you're flagged for possible fraud, every future attempt at immigration comes under a microscope. Regaining trust is a mountain few ever climb back up, so why risk everything for a lie? Entering a fake marriage for a green card isn't just playing with fire. It's like lighting the whole house on fire. If someone tries to pay you to play along, the only safe choice is to shut it down and call it out. Fast money or easy shortcuts only lead to a trail of chaos. The biggest lesson, and the one almost nobody talks about, is simple. The clearest, safest route to permanent residency through marriage is complete honesty. honesty, staying organized, and patiently building an ironclad portfolio of real-life moments. Investigators aren't out to destroy true couples. They're there to spot and stop fraud. If your marriage is real, keep your cool, tell your complete story, and organize your evidence so that everything fits naturally. Once you see how high the stakes are and how technology is rewriting the rules, you realize that every detail, every date, every Instagram post actually matters. The truth, cliché as it sounds, will genuinely set you free. And in this high-stress maze, your best protection is living your story out loud and on record. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this.